Oops, I did it now. Okay, first I'm going to talk about submitting an award. First step that I go through at the beginning of the award season is to review the entry rules and to develop a list of the projects that meet the submission criteria. And I try to look at that throughout the year. Sometimes I get busy and I forget, so I play catch up, but I try to do it proactively so that I'm ahead of the game, because award season comes around before you know it. In your packet of materials that you have there in front of you, there's an intent to submit form. And on that, it just lists basic information for your project, as well as 2 pages of categories that you can review to determine what project category you want to submit in. And these are due by April 12th, so that the judging committee and Jolena and Barbara can look at them, make sure you're in the right categories. Next, I start to gather a checklist of materials that we're going to need to submit, especially project photos, reference letters, some of the items that take a little longer to gather and are a little out of your control. You need to rely on the teams to request your letters and get your photography sometimes. And I developed a brief list of the items needed, and I try to keep on top of it and check them off as I get them to make sure that we're making progress as the weeks go by. And on the back page of your entry form, which is also a packet of material that you have in front of you, there is a checklist to help you get started. And I generally take this checklist and I expand it a little bit for some of the requirements that are in each section. I do some checklists to make sure that I'm getting all the pieces and parts that are listed in your actual entry form. But it's a good way to keep you on track and know what you're getting turned in. And then it comes time to start preparing your submission. There's a timeline in your packet of materials that will help you stay on track throughout the year. It's broken down, fall, winter, spring. You can start here with winter and start looking at your projects that you may want to submit. Start gathering documentation like your toolbox talks, reference letters. This is a good resource to keep you looking at it throughout the year and staying on top of your submissions. And I set up a folder so that I can start saving the pieces that I receive. So as I get a reference letter, I'll put it in the folder for that project. As I get in progress photos, I'll put it in the folder so that I can start to gather everything. And I follow the order of the entry form. There's particular sections that you can follow down through the entry form that will help you. And again, they're listed on the checklist as well. The categories, again, it's the same categories that are on the intent to submit or on the entry form. So when you're filling out your forms, you can make sure you're in the same category that you already submitted on your intent to submit form. GCs also have the option to submit a category for building the project, as well as for woodworking, millwork, concrete, if you do concrete for self-perform. So you can submit a project into 2 categories, one for building, one for a specialty category like woodworking. So keep that in mind as you're looking at your entries for this year. One of the big areas that takes some time and requires team involvement is why the project was special. I try to reach out to the project team members as early as I can, let them know that we're submitting their project, and set up time to meet with them for 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes, to start learning more about the project. It's all in their head, they know the details. You're aware of the project, you know some of the challenges, but they're more deeply involved on a daily basis. So I sit down with the team with a list of interview questions and start asking them different aspects of the project, get their input, draft it for them to look at, finalize it, and then I end up having another team member looking at it for a fresh set of eyes. This will help develop the project narrative when we get to that part of the entry form. But this is one of those steps that I try to do early as well, just because it takes time to get on their busy schedules and get it drafted and reviewed. The contracted scope, like Dan said, make sure you answer the questions that are listed there. They're also listed on your entry form. It helps the judges know that you're in the right category, and they can look down through the list and check those items off. The contracted scope is usually just small paragraphs or bullet points. It's 1 page maximum. So it just gives a general overview of your project. The narrative, as Dan mentioned, is 40 points, so it's a big part of your submission. And this is where that interview time with the project team really comes into helping you prepare your narrative. And then include all the challenges, obstacles, value engineering, everything that Dan outlined just a little bit ago. Why it's special, why it deserves an award. And like I said, I have a coworker who wasn't involved in the project, wasn't involved in the interview, wasn't involved in helping me write it, read it, see if it makes sense to them, they understand it, they've learned more about the project than they probably didn't know before. And like I said, it's always good for a fresh pair of eyes to look at something and see something that you're not seeing, something that's missing, or something that may not be very clear. Safety. That's 25 points of the submission. Like Dan said, it's very important to ABC, it's very important to your company, it's very important to your employees. You want your employees to always remain safe on the job. You want safe working conditions for them, for the clients, members of the client's team that may be on your project. If you're on a college campus, the students that are walking near your construction site, you always have to keep safety in mind. So I meet with our safety director to review the questions, get their input, make sure there's no safety fatalities, because that will disqualify you from submitting for this. And they're the best source for all the OSHA numbers that you need, and the safety policy and manuals. Toolbox talks come from our safety department as well. As it says there, be sure to include all the items. It's a very easy section to get all the items checked off and get your 25 points. So it's an easy section. Sometimes I start with this section first, actually, because it is a more easy section to complete. You know, you should have this information easily available. And with help of your safety team or your HR team, you can get this checked off and this section done pretty quickly. Reference letters, 2 minimum, as Dan explained, for the different categories of whether you're GC or subcontractor. We asked our project team to request the letters. I try to do this early on in the process as well. It takes time. Most owners are more than willing to, unless, like Dan said, they can't for legal reasons, but it takes time for them to write the letters. They're busy, they have busy schedules, so waiting till like the week before they're due, you're not going to get them. Start now, ask for them, give them time to think about it, and to write a really good letter and get it to you. I also try to get more than 2 if I can. I've reached out to subcontractors in the past year or 2 to get more letters. It helps your submission locally, and then if you go into national, you can actually have like 7 or 8 reference letters that you can submit, so it helps your points on a national basis as well. Now would be the time to try to get more than 2 if you think you want to take it to national, instead of going back out when nationals due in the fall, asking especially contractors for letters then. Photos. As Dan mentioned, they don't have to be professional. We use a combination of in-progress and professional photos. In progress for as the job's going, our teams take, our superintendent, our project manager, as they visit the site. It's also good if you have a renovation project, if you can get before pictures, so you see what the building or the room looks like before you started, while you were working there, and then when it was finished, what you transformed the building into, or the room. It's always good to tell the story and show what you've done and what your company's capable of doing. Because as Dan said, they don't go out and see every project, so the pictures really can tell the story of your work. Try to take it in the summer and early fall before winter weather. That hasn't stopped us. Right now we're trying to figure out what we're going to submit this year. We may have to go back out and take some pictures. The weather's not been great, but you need the pictures. You take the pictures, you don't worry about if the weather's not cooperating for you. Some of the key areas, challenging construction items, especially before the work's covered. If you're a specialty contractor doing electrical, plumbing, once the drywall goes up, it's too late to take the pictures. You can't see all the systems that you put in place. So try to take those pictures as you're working in those areas. And there's 2 new requirements for 2017, and they're outlined on your entry form in more detail. Photo file name requirements, that helps ABC staff when they're pulling the submissions together and the PowerPoint together for the banquet to have the files named in a particular way. It just makes it a little easier for them. So that's outlined in your entry form. And new also this year, you can include a 1-sentence description for each of the photos. If you just want to give the judges a little idea of what's being shown in the photo, what may be challenging with being depicted in the photo, and you can submit that as well this year. Project description is also new this year. We actually did have it in 2016, but it wasn't part of the entry requirement. It was done after we were notified that we won an excellence award. So then you had to go back and think about the project again, reread your description, try to come up with a 30 to 40 word paragraph about this project. So this year, to help ABC staff and also help the entrance, we're doing it as part of the entry form. And it'll be read at the awards banquet if your project is an excellence recipient. So it's just one more little thing to get checked off right away when you submit your entries. And I found, like I said, this year we did it after the fact, and it was a little harder. You had to go back and get your head back into that award and that project. This year, my plan is to write it after my project narrative's done, because you can take your narrative, read it, and then summarize it into 30 to 40 words while it's all fresh in your mind. And then we get into actually submitting your project. Again, the intent to submit form, there was a handout for you that I talked about earlier. That will get emailed to Barbara this year, no later than April 12th. It's a PDF form that can be downloaded right now from the website. And just need to fill it out and get it turned in. Then they'll review the categories, make sure you're in the right category. If there's any questions, like Dan said, the staff will reach out to the judging committee, talk about categories, and reach back out to you that maybe this should be in this category instead of that category that you intended. The intent to submit form just includes some basic information outlined there. And then also, if you need to withdraw a project after April 12th, because you realize maybe you're never going to get any reference letters just because the client can, the architect doesn't, you found out there's some other challenge in the project that you might need to withdraw it, you just need to do that by June 7th by notifying Barbara. So the intent to submit form does not commit you 100% to submitting that entry or those multiple entries that you did the form for. It's just an idea for ABC to know how many judges they might need, what categories they're going to have projects in. It just gives them a head start. But you can pull it out before that June 7th deadline for whatever reason you think you need to. The submissions this past year and going forward are electronic submissions as opposed to 3-ring binders, folders, however you may have submitted them in the past. After the intent form is received and the categories approved, the person that's named on the form will receive a Dropbox invitation from ABC staff to upload into a Dropbox folder that is private for your company. So I just see my folder, other contractors just see their folders, their information is private in those folders. If you have more than one project, it'll contain subfolders for each of the projects that you submitted an intent form for. And then as you get your pieces for the submission, you can upload them one at a time. You know, as you get your 2 reference letters, you can upload them. As you get your safety form done, you can upload that, or you can hold off and wait and upload, actually that says upload as one PDF containing the entry form. Make sure the entry form is part of that PDF. So the scope, the narrative, the safety, references, and your 2 optional items there. If you did want to upload your project description, it can be as a Word document that helps with transferring it into the PowerPoint for the awards banquet. So that can be a separate Word document in the Dropbox. And then within your project folder, there'll be a subfolder designated for project photos. So your photos will be kept in a separate folder. And as it says there, Dropbox is a free account, so there's no cost there to get the Dropbox account. And it makes it really easy because even though I plan ahead, I try to work ahead, it ends up the day they're due, I'm uploading my submissions, even though I'm trying to get them done ahead of time. But you have until the deadline, and I think it's 4 p.m. on the day it's due, to get them in the Dropbox. So it makes it really easy. You don't have to make sure they're done a day ahead, ship them UPS, drive to ABC, it gets them done easily. Yes?
Did you just say you wanted the entry form uploaded as well as part of it, or just 1 through 6?
Please upload one PDF that contains the information requested in the entry form.
In the entry form. So do you want the
Julie, should the entry form be separate or as part of that one PDF?
That would be the first part of the PDF.
Start off with the
Your
entry form.
supporting documentation in the following pages.
So you want it included?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, your PDF will have the entry form and then the 6 pieces there behind it.
Okay.
The entry form is also, like I said, as a handout that you have here. It's also available right now on the ABC website, so you can download it in either Word or PDF format. So if you like filling it out as a PDF, it's that option, or as a Word document. So you can get started on downloading those and starting to fill them out. And the signed entry form must accompany your materials in Dropbox, so make sure that that's part of it. There's the deadline, June 7th at 4 p.m. So like I said, unfortunately, last year I was uploading them at about 3 p.m. and making sure all the pieces and parts were there for each one of them. Typically what I do, even though they're electronic, I have a binder for each award submission laying out on my counter in my office area so that as I get the pieces, I put them in the binder. I'm a visual person. Looking at it on the computer in a folder is great, but I need to see it in front of me so I can flip through the binder. I lay a checklist on top of the binder, so as I get pieces, I check it off, and then I can see at a glance real quickly, oh, I'm missing reference letters for this submission. I'm missing in progress photos for this submission. So you can do it, still do the old-fashioned hard copy binder if that helps you in your office, or you can do it all electronically in a folder on your computer, the pieces and parts that you need. And it must be uploaded to your folder by 4 p.m. And your payment must be received by ABC as well on the 7th by 4 p.m. Just some benefits of entering the ABC competition. It's a great way to recognize your employees, your company. You can issue press releases for your winning projects, which helps promote your company, helps promote your client. Generally, when we do press releases, we also mention the design professionals, so it helps your relationship with them and promoting them as well. You can post it on your social media accounts, send e-blast, or direct mail pieces if you do direct mail. You get recognized at the ABC Gala and the ABC E-News. And you build experience portfolio of outstanding projects, and then you're also able to take it on to ABC National, and as Dan said, this entry form follows ABC very closely. I think there may be one or two sections that are different numbers, like narrative might be before contract and scope, or photos might be before narrative, but generally it's very easy to take the Keystone submissions and go to National with just a couple little tweaks. It's also great for employee morale. Your employees feel good, your teammates feel good when they've worked on a project that's been recognized by industry professionals. So it's great for a variety of marketing and promotion. And as Sherry said, there's a marketing tools handout. It's part of your packets, also on the website. It just gives you some more ideas of how you can use your award-winning submission after the banquet. And then get Dan back up here. And any questions?